For once upon a time, all the wise men sat, and each one boasted of his wisdom. One boasted with his wisdom he had bought out the production of iron. In other words, the ability to make iron from the earth is what he brought out to the world. And this one boasted that he had brought out another type of metal, zinc or lead, etc. And this one boasted that with his wisdom, he brought out the production of silver. This is already more momentous. The ability to make silver is what he brought out. And this one boasted that he had brought out the ability to make gold. And this one boasted that he had brought out weapons of war, namely guns, cannons, and so forth. The technology of making these instruments is what he brought out. And this one boasted that he can produce metal wares without those things that produce those metals, without the things that they produce these metals from. And this he boasted, one boasted of another wisdom, for there are numerous things in the world that have been brought out through wisdom, namely salt, peter, gunpowder, and the like. So each one boasted of his wisdom. Someone there called out, I am cleverer than all of you, for I am wise as the day. No one understood what he was saying, that he is wise as the day. He replied to them, because all your wisdom can be put together, they will constitute no more than 1 hour. Even though each wisdom is obtained from a different day, according to the creation that came into being on that day, for all those wisdoms are compounds, several things are mixed together, and from them the thing is produced. Therefore each wisdom is taken from the day in which God created the things, from which the materials are taken, and combined with wisdom to make the thing they want to make, silver, copper, and so forth. In spite of this, all of these wisdoms of yours can be put together by wisdom, constituting no more than 1 hour. But I am wise like an entire day. So boasted the final wise man mentioned above. I, in other words, the inarticulate beggar who was telling all this, called out to him, like which day? In other words, like which day are you wise? He, the wise one mentioned, responded, this one here, the inarticulate, is wiser than me, since he asks, like which day? But like whatever day you wish, that's how wise I am. However, why, after all, is he smarter for having asked, like which day, if the wise man himself also is as clever as any day he wishes? But there is a whole story. For the truly benevolent man is in truth a very great man. And I, the inarticulate one who is telling all this, go about gathering up all true kindness and bring them to the truly benevolent man. And the root of time's genesis, in other words, that there should exist time, for time itself, that is, the very existence of years and days in the world, was itself also created by Hashem Yisbarach, is solely through true kindness. And I go about and gather up all true kindnesses and bring them to the truly benevolent man, resulting in time coming into being. And there is a mountain, and on the mountain stands a stone, and from the stone emerges a spring, a kval, or a fountain. Now everything has a heart, and the entire world also has a heart. And the heart of the world is a complete structure with face, hands, feet, etc. But the nail of the foot of the world's heart is heartsicker than the heart of anything else. And the mountain with the stone and the spring stands at one end of the world, while this heart of the world stands at the other end of the world. And the heart stands facing the spring, desiring and hoping continuously, exceedingly, that it should come to the spring. And the longing and desire of the heart to come to the spring is very wild. And the heart is constantly screaming to come to the spring, and the spring longs for the heart too. And the heart has two weaknesses. One, because the sun hunts it exceedingly and scorches it, because it always yearns and desires to come to the spring. And the second weakness the heart has is due to yearning and desiring, that the heart constantly yearns and wishes to go right to the spring, and it screams with everything it has to come to the spring. For the heart is always standing facing the spring and screams, Gewalt, na, Gewalt, please, whoa, and keeps on yearning most exceedingly for the spring, as mentioned.